the Fulanis have laid their hands on the gas earnings, of course, from Port Harcourt. What's your reaction?
And you see, the funniest thing is that the curse which Simon Ekpa is fighting is just, springing up. Barely how many days. So I don't think there's any other evidence Finland government is needed again to exonerate or free Simon Ekpa or let him off the hook of all the accusation. Because 2-3 days ago, 4 Enugu farmers were disallowed, killed. Let me use the language that people will understand. After all, YouTube knows what actually we are doing. I don't understand. So what cause was he fighting for? Is it not what actually happened in Enugu State? Enugu State farmers that were staying in the farmland slums, all those thatch house built for farmers in the farmland. You can stay there 2-3 days. You can come into the town or communities. They went there and do what? And sent them to their earlier graves. Why? Simon Ekpa, Nigerians presumably believed, was apprehended in Finland to stop protecting the Igbos. See, I'm telling you that Finland, being an advanced country, has given me the hope not to give up on what Simon Ekpa is doing. You know why? They are actually aware of Biafra agitation. Because many a times, in the past, the Biafrans in Finland, they often came out, protesting about the inhumanity, activities of Nigerian government against Igbo people. So the current attack, Fulani attack, herdsmen, terrorist attack on Igbos in Enugu axis has actually set Simon Ekpa free from all the accusations, from all the traps and crafty, moves made by Nigerian government using Peter Mba, the governor of the same province, district where Fulani herdsmen attacked farmers and disallowed, killed all of them.
But does he not know that the Fulanis are perfect deceptors who will just use and dump you? If you look at the history of the Yoruba chronology, how they use Afonja and then dumped him, they took over his ancestral land.
Till today.
Why are these southern governors, the Southeast governors not aware?
Thank you so much. Benefit of political, let me say, stage, political, let me say, arena, political stage, political transactions, going on in Nigeria. The benefit is too succulent, too enticing, too bogus that nobody. It is very, very hard to see somebody like Nnamdi Kanu that could at least resist political benefits of the Fulani hegemonies. They are the one in charge. They are above the Hausas. They are above the Yorubas. They are sitting on top of the Igbos because of Yorubas' alliance with Fulani, because of Hausas' alliance with Fulani, because of Urhobo's alliance with Fulani, Efik, Ibibio, and the rest of the ethnicities in Nigeria, alliance with Fulani. And that is actually what is giving them the overall dynamism.
But how did they achieve that feat? Whereby the Fulanis
centuries.
How did they? Because how is it that Fulanis are using everybody as a stepping stone?
Thank you. Can you listen to me and listen
How
good?
were they able to outsmart everybody?
Can you listen and listen good? Sir Ahmadu Bello Fulani, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Fulani, the first prime minister of Nigeria. We are talking about 1960. Abubakar Tafawa Balewa was supported by Britain, socialist Britain, the worst colonialist in Africa.
Oh,
they are devilish, they are demonic, they are witches and wizards, they are not Christians. They actually benefited from the pogrom of 1960 to 1970, whereby Igbos were annihilated. Over 7 million Igbos were annihilated. the people that sponsored Gowon military clique, Nigerian military clique led by Gowon, the British sponsored it to the level that many European countries returned their certificates. John Lennon returned his certificate. He said, "Why must I be so MBA, bachelor's degree on this when a fellow Christian could, go that descends so low, killing the Igbos, and the Igbos are still Christians?" No, John Lennon, he returned his certificate. What about the Irish man that set himself ablaze in front of the United Nations Secretariat in New York? I often hit that point.
Yeah, sure.
He killed himself. He said, "Why? Christians oppressing Christians." Do you know what they understood? That Britain, they understood actually that Britain is a Christian country. Why persecuting fellow Christians that way? What you're occurring Biafran children. The Irishman set himself ablaze. They poured petrol, fuel. Then you have others that actually denounce Christianity because of what British did to Igbo man from 1967 to 1970. They denounced Christianity. They digressed or defected or cross-carpeted into another religion, which might be maybe Buddhism, Hinduism, or Islam, because of British role, the role that Britain played from 1967 to 1970, when Nigerian Biafran War was raging. See, do you know why, as your question, you ask me how did Fulani, gain this upper hand over us? Fulani started Islamization as early as 12th century. And I want to tell you that it started 630 AD. I mean Islam. That was when Prophet Muhammad started his onslaught.
But wait, what interest? Because religiously they are not allies. Britain and the Fulanis, who are majorly Muslims. So of what was the interest? Why would Britons look at them and say, okay, you deserve, instead of Britain giving the majority who are of Christians, who of course are found in the southeast, the power and south, but instead they rather chose Fulanis above.
Thank you so much.
Why did they do that?
Before you finish your questions, the answer prompts up in my brain. British are very, very astute. They always look at the gaining side, and they actually look at mostly what benefits them. Do you know why? They actually understood that the Fulanis, Ahmadu Bello, Sardauna of Sokoto, Abakatafa Balawa, they are low mentality stricken people, low mentality driven. They don't understand. They didn't go to school. By then, when we are just discussing now, the Igbos have actually occupied the whole federal agencies in Nigeria. Postgraduates, that time, are Igbos, all of them. You know the people that were disallowed in their large numbers, up to 6 million Igbos. And nobody, even the Britain, even other ethnicities in Nigeria could ever believe that Igbos will be this large in population later. So we are leading. We are still leading. Upon the numbers of people that were killed, we are still leading. The numbers of Igbos that were killed then were the elites, educated people, the same level with the first Nigerian graduate, Alvan Ikoku, the same level with first Nigerian professor and VC of University of Nigeria and Soka, Kenneth Onwukadike, the same thing level with the likes of who again? PC Okonkwo, Gilbert Onwatuegu, Louis Mbane, though they did not disalive him, but it was in world court, judges, the one that this man, ICJ, this is our Baba now, Bola Igbe. Bola Igbe was about attaining that height of Obasanjo regime, disallowed him. Obasanjo is guilty of that offense. Bowman don't dey there since 1930. So they were everywhere. And the British man now knew that these people are too wise. They will stop them. That's why they actually embraced the Fulanis, because of a man with low mentality, as Fela sang now.
Oh, so the Fulanis are more like sheep.
Oh, Jesus.
They are more like sheep that the British can just remote them.
Yes. and they were
then they now
on
gave them the
they were
firearms.
on the side of firearms. That's the military. They know how to carry gun and no conscience, no thing to think about God that you are not supposed to kill fellow man. They are extremists centuries back. That's why, you know, anytime I tell history of Fulani, there are many ancestors. There are many archaic ancestry. I always equate Fulani with: one, the Vandals; two, the Goths. Yes, the Goths. Three, the Mongolians. Four, the Constantinoples. Then, before you come see Islam springing up, Islam just sprang up 630 AD. They did not started early as Christianity, as early as pagans. Na lie o. 630 AD now Islam come, and Jesus Christ don't come go. 630 years after Jesus Christ, Islam come, and Fulani from the axis of Timbuktu, Mali, hijack everything about Islam on their head. They constructed that oldest mosque in Africa, in West Africa, that Timbuktu mosque in Mali. They used ordinary mud to build them. If you see how they were constructing the mosque, as if that mosque, God is dwelling there. If you tell them anything against Islam, they will kill you. They will slaughter you.
But right now, what's wait,
So
what
Britain believe that they have low mentality stricken, so they can use Fulani because they don't get the understanding. But the Igbos, they are well educated. The Yorubas, they are well educated. Only the Fulani is because the religion Islam has actually finished the generation of the Fulani. They don't think anything now except Arabic ideology, Islamic ideology, nothing. That's why Ottoman Danfodio erupted from the axis of Futajelon Island, Senegambia, invaded the north. 1804. He was the man that they actually, notified that it is finished in Hausa land, that their beautiful women and men Fulani that they give the houses for marriage had actually perfected the job. Now, after that sex evangelism, Osman Danfodio struck in 18th century. Beginning of 18th century, 1804. Osman Danfodio is alive all the Hausa Obas. Let me not use the word king. All the Hausa Obas. Finish all of them.
They are emirs.
Emirs. No, don't use emir because their religion that time wasn't Islam. It was Ottoman